welcome to my channel. Today, while uniting my lack of musical knowledge and my fabulous opinions, we'll be reviewing IVE's new EP, Switch. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. But let's not forget that these are my opinions only, and you're more than welcome to share your opinion in the comments below. But let's just start. The EP starts out with the first title track because they are apparently also gonna promote and have a music video for another song in the album. But it starts out with the first title track, the first video that we got. And Heya is a very cool rap-dominated track that seamlessly blends the vocals with the raps. I would describe this song as vibrant and sparkling because they changed it up on a way and within a sound that can only be attributed to IVE, which is this majestic kind of thing, which is also very happy and bright. Getting into the song, we start out obviously with an intro, and I did not like it. The intro was definitely annoying. I wasn't sold on either what I would call the pre-song build-up, which is basically whenever someone is like, hey, or in this case, Eugene comes out and let's get it, pay attention. I would call it a pre-song build-up because I think that would sound really nice in concerts and whatever. But I'm not a fan of the vibes there. And the first rap, not really my cup of tea either. But then the vocals kicked in and it was magical. Magical, I say. There is a very big contrast, a jarring contrast between the rap and the melody, which enhances the vocals so much so that it makes Liz sound even more angelic. And it kind of foreshadows how much she's gonna shine in the song and in their entire EP because, spoiler alert, she kind of dominates it. Then we have the pre-chorus, which is nothing short of insane. It showcases the amazing voices of both Wonyoung and Liz, and it's my personal favorite part of the song. The chorus, making the song live up to the name Heya, was not really one of my favorites. There is this addictive chanting, which sounds nice, but ends up becoming a little stale as the song progresses. I do think it will grow on me the more I hear it, and with the countless TikToks that I'm unable to ignore. But for now, I'm still warming up to it. But the coming raps, they maintain the momentum. We have really playful lines and gorgeous ad-libs within the verses that only help to construct this really well-crafted piece. The bridge, absolute perfection. We have captivating vocals, cute switch up in the rhythm, and leads up to the absolute masterpiece that is the final chorus. While the chorus did feel repetitive at times, the second one I wasn't feeling the chorus anymore. The final chorus brought a different kind of emotion to the song and tied everything together beautifully. We do have the incorporation of the sample of No Diggity, which I'm a fan of because of Pitch Perfect. And that definitely adds this nostalgic touch while still maintaining a unique identity to the song of IVE. The producers were able to skillfully stack into the sample to create a very distinct K-pop sound. Because you don't hear the song and you're like, this is so Western. No, this is distinctly K-pop. Distinctly K-pop. And I love how this is done very differently from Afterlife, which depended entirely on the I Will Survive sample. And also the heavy percussion further sets the song apart from the other tracks that we have seen by the group so far. Well, despite having some reservations about the intro and the first rap and the lack of gao I saw and heard in a very rap-heavy song, the production quality and the innovative concept shone through. The MV is amazing. I was in awe while watching it. It complements the song beautifully. It has so many nice cuts and compositions, and it's a piece of art. I mean, all music videos are kind of a piece of art, but this is what you would call a piece of art. The entirety of it is just tremendously gorgeous, which was kind of expected from the insane concept photos that we got this time around, but was still kind of a shocker to see how nice the music video was. And the artistry is just genius. I wouldn't say that this title track is my favorite from them because it's really hard to top some of their previous releases, but I would be a liar if I said I couldn't see this absolutely dominating the charts. Like, the packs are coming. I would rate this song a 2.5 out of 5. I do feel like it has a lot of room to grow on me still. Out of the entire EP, I'm gonna say the title track is probably my least favorite one, but it is very catchy. I think I need to let it simmer a little more before I am like in love with it. I don't see myself being completely taken away by the song and having it as my favorite song ever, but it is a 2.5 of my book because the most important thing is, do I like it? I mean, it's amazing, the vocals are there, it is super well produced, but do I like it? I like it a 2.5 out of 5. Then we go on into hearing the second title track of this album, Accendio. I have the urge to say accendio. Accendio. Like, I kind of want to say it in a Harry Potter kind of way, like a spell almost, but they say accendio. Regardless, this is the second title track, and the verses definitely have a more sultry vibe that really hooks you in. But for me, the chorus seals the deal completely in this song. The chorus starts off with what I could only call their own take of Misamo's. It feels like their own take in it because the sayings are very similar and they have spoken words rather than singing, which isn't my cup of tea. So I was kind of unsatisfied with it and like, I'm probably not gonna like this song until it evolved into something else entirely. Like, it felt like a layered extension of the verses between their talking, so the don't touch me or don't hurt me statements, and like that part absolutely blew my mind. The hiddenish vocals, they add so much to the lines and bring a heavenly sound. It's a word that represents the contrary of it because it's like putting fire. So I think that was such a genius take. Definitely adds to the masterfulness of the song of having a word connected to bringing fire and like arson and whatnot sound really heavenly, and that made me like the song a lot more. I love when there is like a dissonance between what you're hearing and what the meaning is, like sad songs and a happy melody, those kind of things. It just makes the song so much richer without going out of the way to be incredibly meaningful. But anyways, the song does sound a bit more bold and powerful than what we've come to expect from the group. And although it seemed to have been associated by the members to Love Dive, and people were saying we're gonna have like a Love Dive sister or something, I do think the sound and the structure of the song is closer to Holy Moly, which is one of the B-sides from their past EP. But the song has a really great mix of catchy rap parts and incredible vocals, which we saw in Heya as well. And not the blending, but the cohesion of having both without sounding like too much rap, without sounding too vocally. And that keeps things interesting. And they don't miss again with the pre-chorus. It's again one of my favorite parts of the song. You know how some groups are known for, like Red Velvet, for having great B-sides, and then we have, well, Red Velvet is the only example that comes to mind in this moment, but you know how Red Velvet is known for being like the B-side queens. I think IVE, looking back at all of their tracks, their pre-choruses are just so good. They could be called the pre-chorus queens. Pre-chorus princesses. Pre-chorus princess. I love that. They should rebrand themselves. They don't need rebranding. They're doing a really good job in the marketing department. So, and the song also features this beat drop that I can only imagine is going to be one hell of a dance break, which doesn't really disturb the flow of the song. But I do wish that they would have leaned more onto the vocal side and given us a proper bridge to make the song really, really perfect. But it's not that it felt empty without a bridge or without a vocal bridge, you know, and the singing. It's just more of a personal preference. I do think some songs like Spicy, for example, by aespa, the dance break is not needed when I'm listening to the song. But here it fit well and it didn't seem out of place. Just wish that maybe we could have gotten a bridge with vocals. But that's just me. But overall, Accendio is a really solid track that I can see myself coming back to because it serves its purpose really well. Although it is a lot darker than Heya, it makes me feel more energetic and like a seductive queen almost. I want to say badass, but badass isn't what I get from this song. Anyways, it's got the perfect blend of confidence and allure that IVE is known for. And it definitely is a standout in this album. I would say this song is 3.25 out of 5, which is a pretty good score by my standards, I would say. I think it still also has a lot of room for growth because I also think I'll be listening to the song more and seeing it more since it's gonna be a little bit more mainstream. The Misamo part, watch me, don't touch me, not my type. The third track of the album is Blue Heart, which is also not a letdown with its captivating sound, unique thematic elements. With my blue heart, it is being promoted as a song written by Wonyoung that focuses on hardships of the industry, especially for women trying to overcome them. So we can't help but take a little look at the lyrics because until now I haven't been looking at the lyrics at all. Because, you know, it's K-pop and I only really look to lyrics if it's Namjoon. But here, since it is being promoted and it's like kind of like Idol by Yunjin, which the song itself has so much meaning, we need to sit down and take a little look to the lyrics. I really like that it is not a sad song, even though it talks about or is centered around a really harsh community. The focus is more on how much hatred and the criticism and the talks will never get to them, or specifically to Wonyoung, because she or IVE has a heart that is blue. Although the melody is cute, the verses go around this very serious issue, but it finishes off with a beautiful line that they will be reborn and basically saying that this will only make them stronger. My favorite line from the song is definitely Give You That Frozen Smile because it is so clever with the ongoing ice heart theme and, you know, the blue theme that is going on, but also so real. Like in my mind, when I heard that, a flash of a bunch of images of idols smiling despite many occurrences in their personal life or whatever came to mind. So it is really, really clever and very much connected to how much you need to abide to that frozen smile in the idol industry. Not only because you're going to receive hate if they don't see it, but also to say that not all the smiles that they put out are real. There's so many ways to interpret this line. And it's so very connected with that blue heart thing that I love it. And I also really like that this blue thing, blue being IVE's color. I'm not sure if it's their official color, but when I think of them, I do think of blue because Love Dive had like the hues in blue. Then we have Blue Blood because they're royals, and then now Blue Heart. So I really, really like the metaphor of it all and how it is connected not only to the song itself, but to the whole group, connected to their whole concept and stuff, and especially in this EP when they also have the song Ice Queen. So I really like it. I really dig the lyrics and the way that Wonyoung portrayed her feelings. It didn't feel very personal, the song, but I don't think the intent was to be personal and talking about her own story. It's more about overcoming the hardships. Whereas if you expect a Western artist to write a song like this, they would be more personal about it. I'm not complaining that it is not personal. Like, we already know how much criticism she went through. She doesn't need to go super in deep on her details or her feelings. I really like the vibe that we have from the lyrics. And talking about the song itself, apart from the badass lyrics, we have a really catchy beat. We have some vocal distortions throughout the whole song, which gives Britney Spears And I thought the song was very enjoyable and impressive despite its simplicity. It does add a nice contrast having the auto-tune or distortion throughout the song, and then you have a really vocal heavy bridge. Well, not really, really vocal heavy, but it's not like harmonies or whatever, but the bridge is just them singing basically. I really like that contrast, and the chorus really hits you with drive that is hard to resist, and I'm all for it. I'm also so ready to listen to the hidden vocals in the last chorus and basically the whole album, because I can hear them, but you know when you have those hidden vocals and it's only them and they're isolated, I know it's gonna be insane because they're so good and they add so much flavor and makes other songs so cohesive. As we can see, this type of faint ad-libs everywhere throughout the album, which I think is very cool and pretty much a signature for them. It's nothing crazy, no crazy vocal runs. It's just like those progressions, I would say. I don't know even how to describe it. They're so good. And here are a couple examples. Anyways, the song itself is kind of upbeat with a fun electronic vibe that's both cool, fun, and has a deep meaning behind it. So I would say I enjoyed it. I would give it a solid 3.5 out of 5. I enjoy listening to it, and having the meaning behind it definitely cranks up a tiny bits of points here and there. On to Ice Queen. Hold up. I'm in the castle. From the moment the first beats hit, I knew the song had something special, and I knew I was gonna love this song. And I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. There's this watery feel to it that perfectly complements its name and sets the stage for a captivating listening experience. The theme of the song aligns seamlessly with the members' voices and images, which creates a very cohesive and immersive atmosphere, which is something I said also in Blue Hearts, that we have this recurring theme, like blue, here obviously queen, royal, and it's something very IVE, and they do have this icy feel to them, especially in their image and their looks. Like they look picture perfect, but also in their voice they are able to convey this kind of sentiment, which I really appreciate. Well, the chorus does have a little bit of too much fast talking to me. The melody is there, but I wouldn't consider that like a sang chorus. It feels like fast talking. It is really fun and differently from the other songs in the album, in which I had the same problem with the fast talking and the lack of singing, namely Accendio. This one I was able to digest in my first listen, and I think it's maybe because it felt kind of, the chorus specifically, the fast talking part, felt vaguely reminiscent of early ITZY music. I was a little bothered by the fast talking, but definitely not enough to be like, oh my gosh, this song sucks and I'm going to skip it because of it. It's the nitpicky part of me. But what really sets Ice Queen apart, it's the outstanding sound of the post-chorus. The soft vocal runs gave me chills. They're perfectly placed. They're astonishingly ear-warming and soothing. Love Dive. I think you have competition for the most ethereal part of the song. And if you don't know what part of Love Dive I'm talking about, it's obviously this one. Since Love Dive is a little overplayed, I would choose Ice Queen for now, but we'll see how it is in the future. Apart from that, let's talk about the delayed instrumental in the final chorus. Game changer. Game changer. It's a great decision that adds an extra layer of depth to the song, and it made me very happy because it reminded me of those days where I would go on YouTube and I would watch hours of songs with early or late instrumentals because they sounded better and more pleasing than how the original songs sounded. So the fact that they use it here was really nice and very well placed because it makes the final chorus hit differently as we wait for the beats to arrive. So I think this is also a smart way to make the final chorus stand out without having to add a lot into it. It's just to wait for the beat to drop, and that anticipation and the reward afterward is just so nice. So nice. Ice Queen, it's not a really distinguishable song, and it doesn't linger or stick in your mind, but I don't think it needs to. Its quality and feel makes it one of those IVE B-sides, if you know what I mean. If the tone of my voice wasn't enough to say that the song was my favorite from the album, and I would give it a solid 4 out of 5. The next song that we have, the 5th song of the mini album, is Wow. And Wow Cream's summer anthem. It's got that upbeat, energetic feel that instantly puts a smile on your face. And while it may lean towards the cuter side compared to the other tracks, it still managed to stand on its own 2 feet, if you know what I mean. The rap parts are really cute and add this really sweet element to the song, which complements with the overall vibe of their playful delivery. And I don't know, the song just feels like falling in love during your school days. Very innocent, very carefree. The instrumental is top notch. Each element comes together to create a sound that's like just too good. And although the song is a little repetitive and flat, it's not a title track. I don't think it needs any sort of grandiose in the middle of the song that you're like, what is this? It is a little repetitive and flat, but there's no denying its charm. It leans on more the summery side, and I think this is the only song that I see why the cover art is like that, like the colors and the stylization makes sense with this song. So although it may not have the same bite as the other tracks, it still manages to leave a lasting impression. I think its essence can be summarized as the outro of a coming-of-age movie, which is nothing mind-blowing, but fun enough to have you watching the credits, you know? It's cute, it's fun, it's bright, and that's kind of all it has to it. So I would give this song a 2.75 out of 5 because it's nothing really special, but it's not bad at all. I like it, it's cute, and it's fun, and it's nice, and I might listen to it a couple of times when I'm in the mood for more summery songs. But it's definitely not a favorite, and it's definitely not a song that I'll be coming back to a lot. But I liked it. Last but not least, we have Resets. Resets is a very lively and infectious track, and it's a very fun ride from start to finish. Right off the bat, the song's instrumentals catches my attention. They're very lively. They have a fast-paced energy that gives it a more Western feel. I want to say it almost have Latin elements. It did feel like it was a little faster than it was supposed to be. Almost if I had to catch up my breath to listen to the song. I felt like it was a little fast-paced. But it manages to maintain a very dreamy atmosphere, which creates this bright yet seductive vibe that is really hard to resist in the song. It's the kind of song that puts a smile on your face, but also draws you in at the same time. It's like flirting, you know? Like, it's fun, but it's flirtatious. That's exactly what the song sounds. It does remind me a little bit of Bubble by Stacey. It's vaguely there, the resemblance, you know? But I just wanted to point that out, that it kind of reminded me of Bubble. It's not like I have that many opinions on this song, except that the bridge is absolutely amazing. The vocals are out of this world. And that the song is not exactly intricate, but it's so easy to have fun with it that it leaves a great impression. To the point that it is one of my favorite on the album, despite its simplicity. The other songs are really well produced, really thought through. I mean, the whole EP is really, really well crafted. But this one was obviously not the song that they were focusing on polishing and whatnot, but it's so digestible and positive and uplifting that it rounds out the album perfectly. It gave me a really good impression, so I would rate it a 3.25 or a 3+ out of 5. Now that we've talked about every single track from this EP, and I talked about how much I liked Ice Queen, we can wrap it up and talk about the EP as a whole. I do think Switch showed a different side of IVE while being very truthful to their sound as a group. They definitely switched things up with the creativity of the concepts. I will definitely be seated for their next music video to see what type of folklore they're gonna incorporate there. But musically speaking, the EP kind of pales in comparison to their full album. I don't think it is as memorable. I do like the I Am direction more, but compared to their last EP, it's definitely not a downgrade. I mean, it's well produced, fun, and a no skipper. All in all, although it might not be my favorite album from them, I would give this album a total of 3.25 out of 5. Those were my thoughts on every single song for IVE's EP. Hope you guys liked it. Again, feel free to comment down below your own opinions on this album or in a specific song. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.